Probably there will be ranges like 100K, 1 million. That's a wide range, obviously, but I still think that range is we can narrow it down a little bit. I've done that before on Twitter. So I'm thinking 250, 1 million is where I expect it to be on average, right? That's not the all-time high or anything. That's the next level.
Plan B envisions Bitcoin's price reaching a range between $250,000 and $1 million in the next market cycle. This wide range reflects the dynamic factors influencing Bitcoin's valuation, including institutional adoption, macroeconomic conditions, and technological advancements. Achieving these levels would signify Bitcoin's evolution from a niche investment to a cornerstone of institutional portfolios. Plan B points to factors such as BlackRock's Bitcoin ETF filings and MicroStrategy's substantial Bitcoin holdings as critical indicators of institutional acceptance. The transformation of Bitcoin into an asset class endorsed by major players like Fidelity and BlackRock demonstrates its growing legitimacy.
Please take a little time to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and turn on post notifications for more videos like this. You can also check out our other videos on cryptocurrencies and the overall digital asset space and drop your comments and observations in the comments section below. Everything you do helps with the YouTube algorithm and immensely contributes to the channel's growth. Thanks and enjoy the video.
I was thinking 100K in 2021 as well. Obviously I was wrong. I'm wrong about a lot of things. I have no crystal ball, but still I was very happy with the 70K we got back then.
Yes.
Right? Coming from, what was it, 4K, 1K?
When 3,600 or something at the bottom, I think, yeah.
It's okay. So, yeah, no, I think last time we spoke, we already said, well, this is a bear market. For sure there will be a bull market again. Maybe, or probably there will be ranges like 100K, 1 million. That's a wide range, obviously, but I still think that range is, we can narrow it down a little bit. I've done that before on Twitter. So I'm thinking 250, 1 million is where I expect it to be on average, right? That's not the all-time high or anything. That's the next level that Bitcoin will rotate to with all the action we see on the MicroStrategy, treasury kind of things, and with Trump and National Reserve talks, big investors, ETFs. Yeah, to be honest, I would be surprised if we're not ending somewhere near 250, 1 million. I think it plays in the analysis. It's what we need to get to that next cycle. I mean, if we really go to say 500K Bitcoin, that would be a 10 trillion market cap, up from today's 2 trillion market cap. So that needs some capital, some flowing from either real estate or stocks or bonds or gold towards Bitcoin. And yeah, I think that's what we're seeing right now. That actually Bitcoin should be in a well-balanced portfolio. It has a place in a well-balanced institutional portfolio. That was unheard of a couple of years ago. Right now, it's I mean, the BlackRocks and the Fidelities are talking about it like it's always has been like that, and it's logical. So no, I think those events play into the enormous jump in price level that we all expect. And it's I mean, in that case, and I'm thinking about my third article that I once wrote about the stock to flow X model, which is of course a very broad model, but it was comparing Bitcoin with gold and real estate, and it was talking about stages, like or phases actually. So the beginning, Bitcoin was just a proof of concept, a nerd toy. Then it went to a transactional thing. It broke $1 for one Bitcoin. It was wow, this thing has some worth. We can use it for paying cups of coffee. And then we got the idea of digital gold, and now we're entering a phase where it's an institutional asset. A real institutional asset where BlackRock, Fidelity, and even national states are thinking about investing in it. So no, it's really a next chapter, and Yeah, a new price level, a higher price level, goes with that next chapter. Very surprising that it's 3 years of nothing and worries and exchanges failing and all kinds of risks, and then all in a sudden everything happens at the same time. It has always been like that. 2013, 2017, 2021, and now probably, well, next year will probably even more surprising than this year. Everything tends to be clustered in this very short period of time, and it always comes as a surprise, even if you have lived through 2 or 3 cycles.
One intriguing possibility Plan B raises is the potential for Bitcoin to become part of national strategic reserves. He speculates on whether a future U.S. administration, possibly under leadership like Donald Trump, could prioritize Bitcoin as a reserve asset. The implications of such a move would be monumental, forcing other nations to follow suit or risk being left behind. The U.S. enjoys a unique advantage in this scenario: its ability to print dollars. This capacity enables the nation to acquire Bitcoin without immediate fiscal constraints. However, Plan B also highlights the risk of premature announcements, which could lead to significant price increases before substantial holdings are secured.
The wealth distribution problem in the world is not going to be solved by Bitcoin. So there will be it will be Pareto distributed wealth, and so a couple of people will own most of the wealth, and most people own the rest, which is a small part of the wealth. And within Bitcoin, that will be the same. So, for example, well, of the 20 million Bitcoins out there, 1 million, of course, is Satoshi. That's probably gone forever. But then there's the Winklevoss brothers, early OGs. They also have 1 million Bitcoins, right? And so, yeah, and then you have Michael Saylor now. What does he have with a MicroStrategy? Like 400,000
or so, probably at this point. Yeah.
Yeah, and then there's a couple more OGs that have 100K or more.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's in every aspect of the economy, and that will not change with Bitcoin. It will not be evenly distributed. And for example, the ETFs, it looks like BlackRock and Fidelity, the really big capital managers of the world, the money managers, that they have that money and they control it because it's in their ETF. But of course, they own it for the clients, right? It's
it's such an important nuance, and people miss it. I hate when people say BlackRock has 500,000 Bitcoin. No, they don't. Yeah. The Coinbase is custodying 500,000 Bitcoin on behalf of BlackRock clients.
Right, right. And in that way, the most exciting news from last couple of weeks I found was Allianz insurance company, a German insurance company that had 25% of the MicroStrategy bonds, the Bitcoin bonds, on their balance sheet. Now that is real money. That is really Allianz's money, Allianz's balance sheet. They have to they run the risk on those bonds, which is low, of course. But that's the first big insurance company that puts a toe in the water and puts a Bitcoin-related exposure on the balance sheet. That's real money on a real institutional balance sheet. I thought we would see it much faster, and obviously there was a lot of inertia in the market, a lot of lagging with all the things you say, and also the Operation Choke Point, where governments are actively working against Bitcoin, but also accounting rules. All kinds of investors, institutional investors have mandates, right? They have mandates. Yeah. You're allowed to invest in stocks for X%, bonds for X%. There's no Bitcoin on there. And so
there's not even gold, to be fair.
No, indeed. And so even if they wanted, they first need to change the mandate. And that takes a lot of time, especially if it's a big mandate with a liability behind it, like a pension fund or a life insurance liability pool. So, no, it takes more time than I thought. And I guess that the people in the institutions, in the banks and the financial institutions, like me at the time, the people that know, that see the obvious arbitrage, that see the enormous risk-return asymmetry they just leave and gonna do it themselves because the benefits are so enormous. Why would you ever do that for? So those people go do it for themselves, or they go pool at hedge funds and just play the market. They arbitrage these slow dinosaurs. It is happening, but it's really difficult issue of whether you should be public about it, right? As soon as you be public about that you're arbitraging the financial that you're going to do this, then you also stop your arbitrage, right? You're working against yourself if you publicize it. If you make it public, you should better be working under the radar, and that's a very difficult decision to make, to publicly state. And that's why I admire Michael Saylor, because basically everybody can front run him, right?
You can front run the global strategic reserve if you believe in it for Trump, right? Which could be up to 1 million Bitcoin. Yeah. If Lummis gets your way, you can front run every single time Michael Saylor raises a convertible note. You know exactly, he's going to eventually buy 40 more billion in Bitcoin or so. When has retail ever had an opportunity like that? And then there's the unknown unknowns of some other company or country making one of these announcements. But to your point, the global strategic reserve, the United States should buy all that Bitcoin before announcing that they've bought all that Bitcoin, or they're just going to raise the price by double before they get the chance.
And I'm quite sure they do that. They're just doing it under the radar, and they keep doing it as long as possible.
Yeah, and
that's what I would do.
Do you think? Yeah, anyone would in any market. Yeah. Do you think we will see a strategic reserve? A strategic reserve in the United States? Do you think that will happen?
I don't know how the political system really works. If Trump can really decide that, or he needs the Senate and the Congress, of course, and how those numbers are. But yeah, I think he has balls enough to do it, and I think the money you need for it is small enough to do it. It's like nothing, right?
It doesn't have to be a lot. As he said, you can just keep the Silk Road Bitcoin, which of course this administration is still sending to Coinbase as of this week. So maybe they'll sell that off in spite before Trump even comes into office. But strategic reserve doesn't need to be a huge amount. It just needs to be a commitment to hold it on the balance sheet in some amount. But if the United States puts Bitcoin officially on the balance sheet, doesn't every country in the world effectively have to?
Well, the US has one big advantage, and that's it can just print the dollars, right? It doesn't need real dollars. Just print the dollars, buy the damn Bitcoin, and be over with it.
Market cycles, according to Plan B, often unfold in surprising bursts of activity. Drawing parallels to 2013, 2017, and 2021, he notes that Bitcoin's most significant gains tend to cluster within short time frames. Despite prolonged periods of stagnation and uncertainty, the crypto market consistently rebounds with explosive growth. He anticipates a similar pattern in the coming cycle, with major price movements occurring unexpectedly.
Please like and subscribe my channel.